traditional rulers, obas and chiefs. Well, I think I have a duty to wait and say a few words in respect of the event of today. I just want to say, for example, one of the professors who spoke mentioned the event of 1982 when we celebrated what was described as 500 years of the existence of Lagos and 300 years of Obaship. I was the secretary of that committee. There was a time we had a committee on the history of Lagos. Most of the members of that committee have passed away, like the late Chief Ijola Bajulaye, the then ILETE of Lagos, like the then Chief Fagbemi Ajanoku. I was a member of that committee, special committee on the history of Lagos. Somebody mentioned Lagos Aborigine Society. The late ILETE, before he became ILETE, was General Secretary of that association. I had the opportunity of serving as his assistant secretary. Because of this, I think I should wait, exercise patience, and make few comments. The existence of the Office of Archives is very, very, very good and very, very important in the history or in the life of any community. So therefore, I commend the Lagos State Government and that department for organizing this event. Thank you. I want to say that our first place of call is Lagos. Lagos, what you want to record is the history of Lagos. Then we have to define Lagos. How do we come about Lagos? Lagos came from the Portuguese. Lagos don't come from Yoruba. Lagos don't come from any other part of Nigeria. It came from the word Lago de Corama. And how do we describe or define the Lagos? We have to go to the record of the British. The territory, the kingdom of Oba Dosumu of Lagos, which he inherited from his ancestors, from our forefathers, it's Lagos. And how do you define Lagos? When Dosumu ceded the territory to the British, they took the trouble to have survey and records of the area. And that area was named Colony of Lagos. And it was a separate part from the rest of Nigeria. And that Lagos was, people of Lagos of that time were described as British citizens. They British citizens. So those who were from Lagos at that time, when they give them passport, they will put their British citizen. And when they issue passport to other Yoruba people and to other Nigerians, they are described as British protected person. So you have a definition of Lagos. That is the nucleus of what we are having now. So it is that Lagos that belongs to the authority of Igadungan. And how do you define that Lagos? When Nigeria was to be formed, you had Western region. You have Eastern region. You have Northern region. The first place that was done was the colony of Lagos, which later metamorphosed to Lagos State. So, colony of Lagos, extend up to the whole of Ikorodu, the whole of Agege, and the whole of Ekpe. And let me tell you, when King Dosumu ceded Lagos, former King Kosoko also ceded another area of Lagos. So those of you in the universities go into the records. King Dosumu ceded the Ekpe, Lekki, Ekpe. That was his own area. It was not part of the area that Dosumu ceded. But all these areas are parts of Lagos State. And the authority of King Dosumu and King Kosoko emanated from Igadungan. So therefore, we have that definition. And I want to remind you that when we were taken to Western region, the Oba of Lagos, Oba Adele, was one of the six kings. Six Obas were designed as first-class Obas. And the seat of them will sit in the front seat at the House of Chiefs. You remember, I will remind the Saleko people of the drum or the song. Báwa la jù yín lọ, bẹ́yìn la jù wá lọ, Ìbàdé dìbàdàn. When Oba Adele went to the House of Chiefs. And later, because of pressure of some people, of some of our ethnic associates in Nigeria, Lagos, the municipality of Lagos was taken out of the Western region and made federal capital. At that time, some of our people protested. The other parts of the colony, Ikeja, Badagry, Ekpe, were taken out. So the Lagos that we are talking, covers the whole of that place. The whole of that place. We are not talking of Awori. We are talking of Lagos. It's the colony of Lagos. And it is that we must protect its records. Let me give you some examples that is very good in respect of archives. In respect of archives. In the past, all the Obas, all the Awori Obas will come to Igadungan and hold meeting with the Oba of Lagos. If you go into the archives, the records are there. The records are there. You will find the names of the chiefs, Onigbanko of Irede and others, Olojo of Ojo. The records are there. So the authority of that kingdom is based at Igadungan. And so we must get this clear. The paramount ruler of the colony of Lagos is the Oba of Lagos, whose palace is at Igadungan. And let me cite, how good the records are. My own father, as you know, was a former Oba of Lagos. I went to the archives, National Archives, at the University of Ibadan. And going through the record, I just saw the name of my father. Let me, and I saw a lot of documents. Some of them related to chieftaincy matters. And I made a photo start. I paid for them. And after some time, the government of Bolaji Johnson set up a tribunal to look and advise government, on the grading, the position of the Obas in Lagos State. And Oba Adeyinka Oyekon of the blessed memory appointed me to speak along with the elders to speak for Lagos Royal House. And I got to the place, and a number of Obas who were Obas, related to Igadungan, now says they are paramount ruler, and that they are equals to the occupant of Igadungan. I want to cite one example. I am sorry that I have to cite it, and I will beg the Oniba, the current Oniba, to forgive me for citing this, but it is. I'm doing it in order to enable us get the correct history. The correct history. Today is different. We are living in another world. But let us get the correct position. Nigeria is an independent state now. At one time, we are subjects of the British. You cannot erase that. But today, when our president goes to Britain, he will stand shoulder by shoulder with the Prime Minister of Britain. But that does not rob the history. So the then Oniba, gave evidence. And he was asked, what is your position with the Oba of Lagos? The Oniba said, we are equal. Rank to rank. And I was there representing the Royal House of Lagos. So I had to bring that document that I collected at the archives. And what does the document say? My father wrote a report as the Oba of Lagos, to the colonial British, saying that the Ibac people had come to Igadungan to inform him of the demise of the then Oniba, and that they have consulted Ifa and they have chosen another Oniba. The name of that Oniba was Badamasi Shonibare, and that they now come to the Eleko, to the Oba, to give approval. And in that letter it says they brought Babalawo, who consulted Elifa, to testify before him, and that he had called the white cap chiefs. They had interrogated them, and they have approved to install a new Oniba. And that in accordance with tradition, they have to pay what they call, they name the thing, that as soon as they pay them, he will install a new Oniba. That he placed the matter before the government for information. So later, late Gbadamosi Shonibare, I think this is 1928, was installed, as the Oniba. So, but for that record, we will not know the truth. Let me also cite another. At that archives, I also came across a report. That report was written by the late Oba Ibikule Akitoye, the first educated Oba of Lagos. He attended CMS Grammar School, and he went to Britain to study wool technology and returned to Nigeria. He wrote a report. The DO wrote a report in respect of this Oba in, I will remember the name, the Oba, I will remember the name. In accordance with tradition, they went to Oba Ibikule, and they took the Oba there. He approved his nomination, and in accordance with tradition, the title is Onibeju, Oba Onibeju. They have to go to his district, that is Ibeju, to install him, and that he will stay in the house for 3 months. After 3 months, he will go to Gadun Gono to pay homage to the Oba. This Onibeju was installed. Onibeju has the white cap. He's entitled to wear the white cap. He also has a crown. He also has Oniade. And so Onibeju was installed with white cap and also with the Ade Ibeju. But by tradition, it's forbidden to wear the crown to Lagos. You can only wear that crown in Ibeju. But this Onibeju decided that he will wear the crown to Lagos. And he put on the crown. But when he got to very close to Lagos, they have to travel by the lagoon. The war chiefs of Lagos escorted the group. And they settled the matter. He removed the crown, put on the white cap, and went to Igadun to pay homage. And it was written there that the Onibeju is from Benin. The first Onibeju is from Benin. He accompanied the Oba of Lagos. It is written there. And I got that at the tribunal. I made my own submission. There were a number of people who disagree with me. They said, no, Onibeju is from Ijebu. And the then reigning Onibeju, his name was Agbabiaka, came to the tribunal and confirmed that the first Onibeju came from Benin. He came with the Oba of Lagos. So you have a number of rulers whose origin whose origin is from Benin. I want to say also, for the purposes of record, that record keeping at these archives, I also discover a document. That document fake about Olojo. You will get in that document that Olojo is from Benin. How does the document come into existence? There were two contestants for the position of Olojo. One was Lasisi, one was Ayilara. They went to court, and they had to swear to submit their papers. In the first paragraph of Lasisi's paper, it says the first Olojo's name was Ayino, that he came from Benin, and that he descended from that Ayino. So also Ayilara. These are documents, they are in the archives. A lot of these documents throw light, to our history. So I just want to say, like it was submitted by Erelu, we have migrants, from ILETE, who from ILETE, they migrated to Ogun. From Ogun, they migrated to Isheri. And if you go to Isheri, you have, they move in 4 places before they go to Odo. So that's why in Isheri, you have Isheri, Olofin, Isheri. You have about 3 Isheris in Ikeja. About 3 or 4 Isheris in Ikeja. Even there are other people there who are not from that area. I want to give an example. Professor Fagbo, his father was an Oba at Isheri, an Oba from Akeson, and they claim to be Awori. And when Professor's father was installed, he was interviewed by the radio, Lagos State Radio, and he was air for all of us to listen to. And I listened and I heard everything. And the interviewer asked, "What about your origin?" And Papa replied, "You are asking me about my origin when you had Akeson. Don't you know Akeson means Oyo?" So that you know that a number of Aworis were of Oyo origin. Nígbà tí Ọ̀yọ́ lé tú, when the Ogun, when Ogun war took place in the old Oyo Empire, and a number of people migrated. They moved to Ilaro, they moved to all this area until they moved to Lagos area. So among the people who are called Aworis today, you have, Omo Alagba, all these Omo Alagba, all those who have Egunguns in their houses are from Old Oyo. And one good example I will give you is the record that was made by Barrister, for my friend and brother, the late Farumbi, go and listen to it. Omo Nikoi, Omo Ajagulugungun, Loju Ogun. That tells you the origin of the people or the ownership of Isolo. But the important thing is that we should keep all this history. Let us put it in correct position. Take Ikorodu for a good example. You have the Ikorodu people, coming, a larger proportion of them coming from Ijebufe, and settled there. But the next people, is the Benis. That's why Lisa of Ibini is from Ikorodu, and if you is from Ibini, Tomba Maki, Omo Lisa Leni, Omo Bini, Arukun Tayo ni won ki won. and they are next to the Oba. The Jebus took the Obaship leadership, and the Benis, took the next, which is the Lisa. So all over Lagos State, you have many people. Even in Otta, you have an area ILETE, occupied by people from Egun. So that I want to recommend that this department should recommend to government the establishment of a special committee for the history of Lagos. It is a continuous exercise. So I thank you for the opportunity given to me. Thank you.
Very much. We really appreciate you. Like I told you on Sunday, you are just getting younger by the day. Lágbára àwọn tó nílẹ̀, ẹ pẹ́ bí mo pẹ́ ṣe ń pẹ́ sà. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if you're still in the hall, I want you to put your hands together for our Baba. Many of us don't go to the library. We don't go to the archives to retrieve materials. But these are living library and living archives. I pray he will live long, he will be with us for many more years, that we can tap from the fountain of his knowledge. Thank you very much once again, sir. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, we told us earlier on that it will be a continuous thing. We have set the ball rolling. Some of us are not going to allow it to stop here. We'll continue. One of these days, we'll go to Ibile. We're talking about Lagos today. We'll still talk about Ekpe. We'll talk about Ikorodu. We'll talk about Ikeja. We'll talk about Badagry. A lot of questions have come up. And so you'll be able to say, when someone says, where are you from? I'm from Lagos. So no one will tell you you are from a no man's land. That's what we're saying. God bless.